Hey folks, this is Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer. Welcome to the farm vlog. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the purchase of a new skid loader or a skid steer or Bobcat, or however you want to call them. We call them a skid loader or a skid steer around here. There are different types of skid steers. There's different thoughts for purchasing. There's different things that you want to look at. Let me preface this video by saying I am no expert skid steer operator. I am no expert skid steer purchaser. I am just a guy that wants to tell you a little bit about what to look for when you're buying a skid steer or skid loader. We've got a little load of gravel right here and we're going to spread it on this new road. So come along with me, we'll show you the skid steer in action. If you're thinking about buying a new skid steer, this is a little bit of food for thought. So come on along on the farm vlog today. We'll have a little bit of fun working on the skid steer. We'll show it to you. Woo! Stoney Ridge, farm Stoney Ridge, Stoney Ridge farm. Woo! Once again, everybody, I am a consumer, okay? I'm a consumer. We have a 200-acre farm here and we work on the farm and we're thinking about getting a skid loader. Well, the good thing is my friend Don has let me use his for a little while, so it's given me a little bit of insight into what to look for in a skid loader. I'm going to take you around this thing, show you a few little tidbits, talk to you a little bit, and then let you see it at work. You want to see right here, this is the pile of gravel. It was just too wet for the dump truck to get down in here and dump all this gravel, so we've got to spread it a little bit. Then we're going to go get the tractor and we'll smooth it on out, make it look nice, and we'll probably have to get 4 loads of gravel at some point, but I wanted to beat the rain on this hillside. So this is the steepest portion of our new farm road over to the back side of our farm where we're going to build our cabin. This is the new spot. If you're new to the vlog, stick around. If you're new to my channel, stick around, guys. Click the thumbs up, click the like button. Let me know what you're thinking. Give me some constructive criticism. If any of you guys know more than I know, please give me that information. Share it with everyone, okay? But don't be a jerk because I'm just going to delete your comments. So be nice. I'm not a tractor expert and I'm not claiming to be. Help us out. If you know some good tips, leave them down there in the comments, okay? And if you're not subscribed, subscribe and click the little bell so it notifies you when I put a new video on. Moving right along here, this is the skid loader. This is how you open the back of it, okay? Every one of them is a little bit different, but most brands are like this. There's a little handle. Pull the handle, it's like a door, like a car door almost. You open it up, you've got several filters and stuff in here. Let's get a little close up and show you what we're looking at. So right here we have our oil filter. This is replacement. It tells you what number to order. The guy was smart when he did this, my friend Don. This is the hours that were on the engine when the filter was changed the last time. Now here is our hydraulic filter, okay? And here is our fuel filter. All these things are labeled very correctly and that's good. That's a good thing. Don did a good thing here. So what my friend did here was very smart. He labeled the filter, he put the part number. Only thing I noticed he didn't put on there was what type of oil that he used, but I don't know, he may have put that on there too. No, he didn't put the type of oil that he used, and that's something else that I like to put on my filters. Anytime you're servicing your equipment and you have several pieces of equipment, it's hard to keep up with this stuff. So you can just open the door and boom, you have a reference as to when the last time your filter was checked. Also your air filter here. Need to check that too. Anytime you're getting ready to operate a machine, be sure you check the oil. That's the main thing. Your lifeblood is your oil, okay? And please don't run out of fuel on one of these diesel engines. You're setting yourself up for a day's worth of work here, or at least a couple hours worth of work, and a lot of frustration. So what am I looking for next? I'm looking for general cleanliness inside the engine bay. I'm looking for oil leaks. If you're gonna go buy a skid steer, a used skid steer, some of these skid steers are great. Some of them have been totally used up. So you really need to be smart about it. Take a piece of cardboard with you. Take a big old piece of cardboard and stick it up underneath that thing. Run it for a little bit. Give it a half-hour run time, okay? Raise and lower your bucket. Make sure everything is smooth. Make sure your engine bay is fairly clean. It doesn't have to look like new. It's not a new one. If you're not looking at a new machine, don't expect it to look new. But do expect it to be tidy, neat, and look for either service records or for a guy to be smart and label his filters so you know when to change them the next time, and so you know that maybe he's been doing what he's supposed to do. Service records would be absolutely awesome to have on any kind of piece of equipment like this. So guys, think about it. When you buy a piece of equipment, keep some service records. Keep a folder with all your different pieces of equipment, all your tractors, all that stuff. Keep a folder with it. I don't know, maybe one of you guys know of a special tractor logbook that you can buy online. I don't know. If you do, post me a link down there and I'll check it out, show it off on the channel. What we really want to do is get in, we want to start the engine up. We want to make sure it starts up smooth and runs smooth. So let's take you over there and show you that. Another point of inspection you might want to look at is to see how beat up this door is. If it's all beat up and banged up, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing, that the thing's been abused, but you can tell using your best judgment whether something's been sitting out, rusted up, been abused or not. And FYI, even if this equipment has been sitting out, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad, okay? I'm not going to take up your whole day showing you this stuff. We want to inspect our wheels and tires. We want to make sure that there's not grease running out from under our wheels and tires. We want to check all our fittings. We want to make sure that the bars that secure the bucket go up and down easy. Some of them are automatic. If you get a machine like that, great, awesome. This one's not like that. You want to make sure they go up and down. This one had a stuck lever on it, but we took it apart and got it fixed. A few more items of inspection as we walk around the outside. Let's walk around the outside here. You want to inspect your seals. You want to make sure you're not leaking. Your hydraulics here. You want to make sure that your cylinders aren't pouring oil out as they go up and down. You want to make sure you're not just drip, drip, drip. And that's where that big piece of cardboard comes into play. If you're going to buy a used piece of equipment like this and you wonder if they just painted it up and rinsed it off, bring yourself a big old piece of cardboard and slide it up underneath that thing. You'll know right quick whether you got some leaks or not. And when you find out whether it has leaks, that could be a great negotiation factor for when you're purchasing it. Some guys won't budge on their price, and that's okay. So guys, when you go to buy a skid loader or when you go to buy a piece of equipment, I don't know what your experience has been if you've been out looking at this stuff, but a lot of people don't have a lot of knowledge, okay? There's a whole lot of salesmen out there that just want to sell you something. They don't want to budge on their price. They just want to sell it to you. That's the price, and that's what it is. I can't do much better. I don't know how many times I've heard that in a tractor dealership. You can't move, you can't budge on your price, so that's as low as I can get it. I really don't understand that. After buying a lot of cars, you know, when you go to a car dealership, man, they start rolling. They start trying to sell, and if they can make a buck, they will. Tractor dealer doesn't seem that way. Seems like they're pretending like they're not making any money. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know if any of you guys have experienced that tractor arrogance, but there is a touch of arrogance in every tractor dealership I've really ever been into, except for the one where I bought my tractor, my John Deere tractor. The reason I bought it there is because the guy was nice. He was straight up, he was straightforward, he was a country boy, and he wasn't arrogant. He wasn't proud of the green paint on the tractor. He was just trying to get me a good, reliable piece of equipment. That's what you want. And the reason I'm talking about this is because imagine dealing with an arrogant salesperson. How is it going to be in the service department? How's it going to be when you have troubles? Machines break, they're mechanical, they're gonna break, and you need good customer service after you bought the machine. If the guy's being arrogant and not nice to you even before you buy the machine, or not working for you and not looking for the right machine for you, you don't want to deal with them, because later on when you do have a problem, you're gonna have to go back to that guy and he's gonna be the same jerk or worse. All right guys, let's get in here in the operator station, sit down a little bit, we pull our lever down, lock it into place. In case you've never used one of these, this is a track lock lever. It will not let you move unless you have it in place, okay? So we'll start the engine. And I've already been running a little bit, so I don't need to worry about warming it up before I start working here. I want to start it up. You're looking for that smooth operation, that very smooth operation. Start it up, shut it off, turn it on, shut it off. Listen, see if there's anything funny. I'm going to raise the bucket up here. You're going to see if the bucket runs smooth or if it's not. Once you get the bucket up, and this one is not a drive-by-wire, this is a conventional type. You have foot controls and hand controls. Some of the newer ones have joysticks, and basically it's like flying a F-15 jet or something to that effect. It's really, really easy, and just ever so slight movements will move your bucket or move your skid loader forward, and you can make adjustments. It just has an awesome computer system on it. I know Caterpillar has a really cool one. I looked at a Caterpillar the other day. So we're gonna start it up. You're gonna reach up and start it up. This one has a key, some of them have a keypad. It's okay, I haven't heard a lot about the electronics issues. Maybe somebody else knows something about that. Leave comments down below if you do. You're gonna look at your fuel gauge. You're gonna make sure your fuel gauge works. You're gonna look at your amp meter and your temperature meter, and you wanna make sure that they're working properly. You wanna get this thing warmed up to optimum temperature and ride around on it at least, or pick some dirt up with it if you have the opportunity to do that. and get used to it. You want to raise your bucket up and shake back and forth a little bit and see how loose things are. See if these bushings are loose, if bearings are loose, if it's squeaking, what it's doing, okay? If it's a really, really loose machine, that means it may have really high hours. And also be aware, your hour meter may have been replaced. So if you don't have service records and you don't have an hour meter that's accurate, it's a definite negotiation factor here for buying a skid loader. Once again, a lot of these skid loaders are worn out pieces of equipment. Now, depending on how much you want to work on your farm, if you're just picking up a few hay bales, it might not bother you. If you're going to use this thing for 15 plus years, you're going to learn all about it. This is going to be part of you. This skid loader, your tractors, and all your equipment is going to be part of you. You're going to learn the quirks, you're going to learn what's good, what's bad, and what to do and what not to do. So we're going to start the loader up, okay? And we're going to raise the bucket nice and gentle. We're going to shut the loader off and we're going to watch and we're going to see if that bucket settles, okay? This one does settle, and I will tell you that. I've got a load on here, a load of gravel. We're going to raise it up a little bit and you'll see it slowly settles. Is that a really big deal? Well, it depends on how fast it settles and depends on how much oil it's leaking or where the hydraulic leak is. On this machine, it hasn't been a very big deal, but I do notice a little bit of sag if I'm carrying a long distance, if I'm carrying a load a long distance. So let's start it up, raise up the bucket, and watch and see if it settles. If it starts to settle, there's another negotiating factor for you, or something you need to point out so that the dealership can fix it for you. Or if you're buying from a private individual, once again, it's a negotiating factor. All right, we're gonna raise the bucket up. Idle up. Nice and smooth. All right, my bucket's up. I've shut it off. You want to leave this thing up for 10 minutes or so if you possibly can. So let's talk a little bit more about the bucket, about raising and lowering it and watching it, okay? So raise this thing up in the air and make sure that it's working properly. Make sure it goes all the way up, all the way down, and articulates in every direction. Shake it back and forth. If it seems really shaky, question that, okay? Ask your dealer, or if it's a private individual, you may want to stay away from that. Next thing you might want to ask, do you have auxiliary hydraulics? So this one has auxiliary hydraulics. Do the auxiliary hydraulics work? Well, you don't know. You need to hook up to something. You need to hook something up like a grapple or whatever. If they have something on the lot, hook it up. If you're buying from an individual, be sure that you know the secondary hydraulics work, because that is a big selling point, and it makes the machine a much more valuable tool on the farm, either on the farm or on the job site. When you walk up to the loader, you're looking for leaks, you're looking for drips, you're looking for bald tires, you're looking for anything out of the ordinary, anything that you wouldn't want to see on your car almost, anything that's really greasy, really nasty. You want to inspect it. You also want to be a little bit wary of one that's been repainted, one with all new seats, all new gadgets on it. Has it been rebuilt? Has it been a problem? Has it been proven a good machine once it has been rebuilt? There are a whole lot of people out there refurbishing, not really refurbishing, but slinging new paint on the machine. And now slinging new paint on the machine might make it a little more valuable to you, but I want a good, reliable machine. I don't want just new paint. I would like new paint, but I don't want just new paint. So the next piece of advice I'm going to give you, inspect the operator station. Make sure it's fairly clean. It doesn't need to be clean as a whistle. These machines get worked, okay? And when you buy one, you'll understand you're going to be working this machine. It's going to get dirty. It's going to run into stuff. You're going to break stuff. Some of the main things that I'm told you need to look for on these machines are service records, overall condition, leaks, and looseness. Any kind of looseness in all these moving parts you need to be looking for, you need to be thinking about, okay? Well guys, I hope this helped you. In review, I want to go over a few things. You want to look for leaks. You want to look for looseness. You want to make sure that bucket holds, okay? Turn it off. Let it sit for 10 minutes, okay? Take a measuring tape with you. You're buying a piece of equipment that's going to cost you $10,000 to $20,000, $30,000. Take a measuring tape. Take a piece of cardboard. Slide it underneath there. Let that thing run for 30 minutes. Spend some time with your salesperson. If your salesperson is arrogant, know that when you deal with that salesperson, when something breaks, there's going to be trouble. You want somebody that's really going to take good care of you, because if you're like me, you're new to this stuff. If you're watching this video, you're probably new to this stuff. You're thinking about buying a skid loader, but you don't even know where to start. I didn't know where to start. Now I've got one to use and I know where to start, and hopefully I can guide you in the right directions. Check your oil, let it run to optimum running temperature, work it a little bit, check your secondary hydraulics, make sure that they're working right. check your cockpit, make sure it's fairly clean, make sure everything functions correctly. Make sure you don't have oil dripping running out of the machine or running out of any of the hydraulic cylinders. Make sure your tires are in pretty good shape. Make sure that there are no leaks around the hubs for the wheels. Make sure you're doing your due diligence in getting a good skid loader. If you got service records, man, that makes it so good. If you buy a piece of equipment, guys, keep service records. Just start a file in your little corner or keep it in your garage and keep service records. I don't care if it's a push mower. Keep service records on all your machinery. It'll help you in your life. I want to thank you for joining me here on the Stoney Ridge Farm. And if it's your first time to the channel, please subscribe, click the little bell down there. It'll notify you when I post new videos. We're getting ready to build a cabin over here. We've got 200 acres. We're clearing land. We're cutting timber. There's just so much going on. We'll be servicing all the equipment here in the next few weeks. And we got the old Bronco we're going to be working on. Guys, there's just an unlimited amount of fun stuff to learn and enjoy watching here on the channel. So I want to thank you for watching. Come on back and see me. I appreciate you. We'll catch you on the next video, all right?
Well, come on down to the Stoney Ridge. Bring your wife and bring your kids. We're living life pure and sweet. That's the way it's supposed to be, Stoney Ridge.